Thank you. So, good morning, everybody. I think we've already waited for some amount of time for people to join in. And while I see some have, and I'm sure some would still join in, we'll get started. So, thank you and welcome to this Partner Day event organized by us from PeopleStrong. And on behalf of PeopleStrong, I thank each one of you for making the time, for this. The idea behind this Partner Day event essentially came because of the unusual space that we are all in because of the pandemic. And we thought that what could we offer to our customers beyond what we already do from an HR tech perspective. And we are very fortunate to have 8 of our partners that have joined us in this endeavor. The partner ecosystem that is represented here of the 8 partners is represented broadly in 3 categories. One, what is we are calling as a work life, so which is kind of extending within the HR tech space and going into some specific point solutions. The next one is in the fintech bit, because I think apart from HR related aspects, I think finance and finance related aspects at a personal level are also something that we realize that a lot of our customers are seeking help on, and that's where we thought that some fintech partners would also be of value. And of course, then the third part is of wellness, because that's also on top of everybody's mind, our health, and that's the other aspect of health and well-being that we bring into this day. So thank you once again, and with that, I would like to invite the first partner, which is Vantage Circle, which is in the business of rewards and recognition. We have Nishant, who is their VP Corporate Relations with us. So over to you, Nishant, and please walk us through what Vantage Circle has to offer. Just a quick note before Nishant begins for all our customers who are on the call. At the end of each presentation, which is about 5 to 7 minutes, we will give you time for 2 or 3 minutes of questions. You can either raise your hand or type your question in the chat window and we'll pick it up from there. At the end of the question hour time, there would also be one question that will pop up on your screen, which will ask you to opt for more details about this particular partner if you are interested in exploring that for your organization. And then your account director will get in touch with you to take that conversation forward with you. So that's the pattern that we will follow. If at any point of time you're facing any challenge or difficulty, please reach out to us via the chat mode, or you can raise your hand, and we are more than happy to assist you through this process. So over to you, Nishant, and yeah, take it up from there.
Thank you so much. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, Nishant.
Thank you. Thank you. So a very good morning to everybody. So just a little bit about Vantage Circle and what we do. So we have been in this rewards and recognition space for the last 8 years. And big thank you for PeopleStrong for organizing this event and bringing us all together. So a little bit about Vantage Circle. So our platform is used by more than 1 million employees. It's live in 50 plus countries. We are cognizant of the fact that we are in the business of managing employee data. So we are GDPR compliant rewards and recognition module. One of the big victories that we had in this year was that we were selected as the preferred partner for the entire Tata Group. So we've already onboarded about 5 to 6 companies of the Tata Group onto our platform, and looking forward to onboard many more. And keeping up with the reality of the times, we are a mobile first platform. So we are cognizant that many people might access the platform using their mobile phones rather than through the desktop. So if you could go to the next slide, Amit. So what has been the shifts that we've seen in the rewards and recognition space? And this has been a gradual shift, but in the last few months, this shift has accelerated because of very obvious reasons. So one of the things was that the larger move is that it's moved from physical to digital. And the constraints that existed in the physical form of rewards and recognition no longer exist in digital, and the expectations have also changed. So earlier you used to have operational limitations. Maybe there was a particular day in the year when awards were given, but right now we are just looking for the most efficient way to give out awards. So in fact, everybody's understood that it's better to give it, immediate gratification is better than delayed gratification. Earlier, admin hassles was a major factor when it came to giving out rewards and recognition, but now that's no longer the case. The earlier form of giving rewards and recognition, by design had no opportunity for any analysis or reports. And another big factor that contributed towards R&R was again the proximity. So employees in one location, one city, one office, could be treated differently from others because of, maybe somebody who's close to, who's working in the same premise as the CEO's office could be treated very differently from someone who's working in a remote location. And final change that we've seen is that earlier the organization would choose and give a reward to an employee, whereas now the employee has the choice to pick the reward. And we are also part of this evolution, which we've seen in the rewards and recognition space. And that is how we've also kept the design of our module. So if you could go to the next page. So the platform, these are the few highlights of the platform. The platform allows to give, allows client to give out monetary and non-monetary appreciation. We think both of them are equally important. We have automated milestone awards. So for instance, your work anniversaries or birthdays. So if you choose to give out, points or monetary awards along with it, they can be completely automated. We also have manager initiated awards, which could be, which serves the purpose of immediate gratification. The workflows when it comes to awards can be customized. We can have one approver, many approver, no approver. All of those workflows can be customized. And we present a combination of both gift cards and merchandise, which are available globally. So these are some of the features of the product. Now I'll just take you quickly through a few of the screenshots of the module. So as you can see, it's like a social media page for the entire organization where anytime somebody wins an award or a recognition, others can view and they can like the particular post that is given. You can go to the next screen. So this is how a manager would see. A manager has the opportunity to appreciate and nominate. Appreciate is to give out a non-monetary award, and nominate is to give out a monetary award. And yeah, you could go to the next thing. And the process of nomination is pretty simple. You just have to search for an employee by by the email address, and you will see their names available in the dropdown. You can select them, and then you can go ahead and give out the monetary award. So you can select the monetary award. Now the image of the award, the title of the award, all of them can be customized. The denominations can be customized. And you also can select the approver, though most clients prefer having a preset approver in place rather than giving the nominator the opportunity to select the approver. Yeah. And when you're giving out an award, you can write a citation and a business justification, and the award gets published along with the citation and the business justification. So this is the very simple process. Once the award is given, the recipient gets an email and a certificate if required. So there might be some awards which don't require a certificate, but if required, we can have a digital certificate that goes as a PDF to the recipient. And while there might be approvers in the process of giving out the award, even the approver is also intimated by an email. The other awarding or rewarding opportunities available are appreciations or recognitions on when someone is having their birthdays, work anniversaries, and tenure-based awards. So we understand that 10-year completion, 5-year completion is a prestigious award. So that we could have a different email template and a different certificate template. We've recently launched this new feature, that's the Vantage Circle Service Yearbook feature, where this is a standalone module where in case somebody is completing a prestigious milestone like a 5-year or 10-year completion, an email gets sent about 30 days before this particular activity, this particular event. And colleagues can enter how wonderful it has been working with this person in sort of a digital scrapbook format. So it can be a text upload and an image upload, or a combination of text plus images. So on that day, let's say today I'm completing 5 years at Vantage Circle, then I would receive a digital a PDF, which is like a digital scrapbook where I can see what my colleagues have to, what are the kind words they have to say about me. So this is something which we think enhances the value proposition of a product. The other other features of the module is that you can also make announcements on the feed using our application. As I mentioned, we have a global reward category that spans 50 plus countries. So depending on which country the employee is logging in, he or she will be able to see gift cards that are relevant for that particular location. So an Indian employee would see, the likes of Flipkart, Shopper Stop, Lifestyle, whereas an American employee would see the likes of, Target, Tesco, so on and so forth. When it comes to the back end of the module, we have an extensive dashboard where the budget can be captured, and that is probably the most important thing when you're starting a rewards and recognition platform. You want to see how the budget is being utilized. We also have an extensive reports section where you'll be able to see reports such as what is the points that has been given, what is the budget that's been allocated, how much of the budget has been utilized, and how much of this budget has been redeemed. We are also cognizant of the fact that there might be certain award categories which are not formal. It could be ad hoc. Maybe you want to appreciate someone who's given time for training or for online induction. So then you can give them points or appreciate them using a Excel file upload. So this feature is also available on the platform. Now, the rewards and recognition platform allows you to have different workflows that matter to different, employee levels. So the platform looks at an organization and understands its hierarchy, and we can have different workflows for employees, for team leaders or managers, for department heads, and for the super admin or for the entire organization as such. These are the roles and permissions that different, these are the permissions that different roles have. So as an employee, you would be able to receive awards, whereas a manager, you'd be able to initiate awards. Admin can choose who should be managers and who should be the budget holders, and a super admin can assign administrators. So administrators can be at a department level. This is a quick rundown of the application. So we just kept things really crisp, keeping in mind the time that everybody has. If anybody has any questions that you would like me to answer, I'll be happy to field them.
Does anybody have any question? You can raise your hand and or you can type your question in the chat window. All right, so I'll take that as no. So thank you, Nishant. Thank you very much for this, and I think this is a very, very good offering in the current times when suddenly everybody is a distributed workforce, and I'm sure customers who are on this call and otherwise would also benefit from this offering. So we'll move on to the next partner. So next one is Varun from Atmax. This is a company which is focusing on sales incentive process, and very interesting offering. So Varun, over to you for taking us through that.
Thank you, Amol. Hey, everyone. We are at Max. What we do is all about salary, sales incentives, variable salary management, and bonuses. We recently won Indian Achievers Awards for most promising company for outstanding customer value proposition. If we move to next slide, we have two products, majorly one in compensation, second in incentives. Right now, we are all talking all about incentives. So let's focus on that. Moving to next slide. So when we talk about all the challenges, why we are talking about sales incentives right now in such a bad time? When we talk about sales incentive, we'll see 5 to 10% of your balance sheet, which is revenue, are nothing but incentives. That is what you pay out to your salespeople. And 90%, more than 90% of the companies are actually managing it manually by keeping few people, by doing some sort of shadow accounting, right? So when we talk about somebody who does it efficiently, which is 2 to 3 times more efficiently, is through a system, not manually. And it has been studied that around 11% of your salespeople will get paid improperly during the year. So if you have 1,000 people, 110% will be paid improperly. We understood about the quantitative challenges And if we talk about qualitative, we will see there are 3 to 4 very pertinent challenges for any sales head or any HR head. First, of course, the entire process is manual. Second, when you talk about employee motivation, if you are giving any money out in the market to a salesperson, because there is no transparency, it is more like a black box. So whatever you invest in, you do not get it back. Third part, when you talk about, is the agility part. If your competition comes out in the market, and if you take, let's say, 1 month to actually have an incentive plan to even stop that competition, to poach your people and take the market share, if you do not have a product, it's going to be a big hit for you. Last part is about, of course, numbers. If you have a product, you get the numbers. You take away the shadow accounting, which actually takes in 4 to 5 FTEs to manage the entire thing, and that's a big plus for any product. If you move to the so if we are talking about a challenge, how to take care of that, why should I opt for let's say a product to manage the sales incentive? One is, of course, you save at least 70 to 80% of your bandwidth from the transactions. Second is you save from a motivation efficiency standpoint, because now everybody has view to everything. So salespeople can see which KPI they are going ahead with, which KPI they have to put more efforts in to achieve a certain number which they want. And of course, if most of the companies are doing it manually, by the way, if you do it transparently, and we did a study, we were doing a speaker session with ISB Hyderabad, and we did preliminary research with the salespeople, and it came out that transparency is a big premium nowadays. Which actually tells is, if you are paying 20,000 to your employee or salespeople, if your competition is paying 22 to 23,000, but you have transparent systems which can tell your salespeople that, hey, you are going to achieve this, you are getting this incentive, that person is not going to leave you. So you can actually stay put with 20,000 rupees against your competition's 22,000 rupees. Of course, when we want to have a quick sneak peek in the product, next slide. Yeah. So the entire admin part, right? It becomes very easy to administer the entire product. So you can have your territory management, quota management, P&L management right in the system. When we look at next slide, you will be able to see that even the data preparation part, which is integrations with the HRMS, CRM, ERP, becomes very easy. And you can have multiple formula built in the system, right? You can create your KPIs in the system. You can create your various incentives. So you may have 50 KPIs and 50 different incentive plans. You can just run it in the system, assign to anybody, and make sure the entire process, which takes 15 days, is just done in 5 days. How a manager looks at it, right? That becomes very important. From a manager standpoint, the manager can have view of leaderboards, in which incentive, in which KPI, who is doing good and who is doing bad in their team members. If you go to previous slide only, you can see the trend boards also. Right? Trend board is very important because you would want to see how your team members are actually performing with respect to a particular KPI. And imagine all your learning and development initiatives, your coaching and mentoring initiatives can come out right here, even your role changes. So somebody who is doing really good, there's a downward swing, or there is a downward swing, there's a different way of coaching and mentoring that person, right? If we move to the next slide, we will be able to see how a user or a salesperson also have a view. A transparent view where the salesperson can see, hey, this is something which I'm going to receive this month. This is something which the company has invested YTD till now on me, right? And the entire history of what has been paid. And if I move ahead, I'll be able to see even what I am making, right? What is the KPI? Am I achieving 80%, 90% with respect to the data which the system is fetching in itself? What is I'm losing? If I'm not doing 100% of a KPI, am I losing something or not? That's a big view from a psychological standpoint, and that is something which a sales head or HR head would want to see with respect to the employees and the salespeople. Right? Even comparison with respect to the team. At the bottom, you can see, can a salesperson see how my team members are performing vis-a-vis I am performing? Oh, that's a big psychological push. Imagine your team members seeing if they are not performing, start putting in right efforts in the right KPI. The entire group's productivity and performance will increase. And why should we actually have this kind of technology? You can easily see if you are investing a lot of time, lot of FTE manpower over a manual process, you can easily do away with that. you save at least 60 to 70% of time and FT bandwidth as well. Of course, if we talk about accuracy, in a study it came out that up to 3% of the overpayments are done, and then the team runs behind the salesperson. Hey, we want to withdraw this amount, right? This is taken care of. This is taken care of very well. You get a detailed insight at the right time, and of course, as I talked about shadow accounting. Shadow accounting basically when you actually have a different kind of workbooks in place to just check the balances, to check the errors and all. That is a big pain, and that is taken off very well. And on an average, you will see 5 to 10% of a higher achievement because of this transparency, which comes as which is now a premium, right? In short, sales incentive technology is one of the least costly, but one of the most impactful tool to improve your results. So that is about us. Any queries, will be happy to answer.
Yeah, thank you, Varun. Any questions for Varun? I see one question from Garima in the chat box, which asks, "Can we get these presentations?" So yes, Garima, we can make a note of that request, and we'll have these sent across to you. There will also
if there is no question, there is a deal sweetener which we are giving to this small group. So whosoever in this closed group in Partners Day signs up, we are giving a 40% discount for first 3 years if we are signing up in this calendar year. So that's a deal sweetener. It's a time of festivities, so we said why not.
All right, Varun. So yeah, so Garima, there would also be a quick question that will pop up on the screen in some time now. Like I had mentioned, at the end of each presentation, you can also express your interest. So right there, so you can also click on that yes button, and you would be contacted for further details. All right. If we don't have any further questions, can we move to the next one? Okay, so I would now like to invite Salyan, who is from Gleek. This is around upskilling and reskilling of people, which is again another agenda that many organizations are driving during this time. So over to you, Salyan, for taking us through what you have to offer.
Thank you very, very much. And good morning, everyone. Calling in from Dubai. Thank you. So let me start with the end in mind. At Gleek, we believe that any kind of upskilling that does not shift behavior or impact KPIs and bottom line is a waste of time. So many times we get into upskilling and we don't know what it's impacting in the business. And I think if we start from that place of what are we trying to impact and move back from that, this is where someone like Gleek can help you. And, I give you an example of one of our clients in the US, one of our largest US clients, Prada USA, so sales. We all have sales throughout all of our organizations. Retail sales is probably the hardest hit during this COVID season, and I can very proudly tell you with Prada USA, we increased their sales during COVID by 34%. In fact, our original team that initially went through the pilot before we rolled out across before the US and now in terms of their global platform, that original sales team is outperforming every single team in the organization. So I will start there with you in terms of any upskilling choices and decisions made. This particular company was looking to shift their sales indicator. Some organizations might be looking to shift certain types of behaviors. So upskilling starts always with what am I trying to shift? How is it going to be measured and how is it going to be proved? Because if you're not measuring it, it does not exist. I also encourage you to look at some of our other client feedback on our Trustpilot review. Let's go to the next slide. So what does Gleek do? And I have a little video that would explain that to you, but let me tell you what in terms of behaviors. So we're looking at soft skills. And the reason I'm showing you soft skills, particularly in India or many markets in the world, is most of the times we spend our dollars on hard skills. So I'm sure everyone right now, if you look at your spend and your budget, you're saying probably about 75 to even up to 90% is going to be spent on some kind of hard skill development. And these are functional skills. And we spend very little on soft skills development. The problem is if you look at all the studies out there. So I'm just giving you an example of a Google study. It's called Google Project Oxygen. It's going on right now. So all of you can Google it. You look at any of the Stanford, Harvard, any of the studies. What it shows you and what it tells you is that 85% of job success comes from human soft skills, behavioral skills, 21st century skills. So in Google, the top performers, even in tech roles, 9 out of the 10 behaviors of the top performers were soft skills, not hard skills. Only one was actual technical ability. And you're going to find this over and over in terms of your organizations. Just many times we don't know what are those behaviors in terms of driving KPI. Can we go to the next slide? Soft skills impacts your bottom line, and most people don't know how, and most people don't know to the extent. So for example, something simple as miscommunication, there's a cost of that to your company. In a simple organization of 100 people, it's $420,000. Soft skills is when all of us show up fully in terms of work. It improves retention because people feel seen and heard. It also improves your business return. So hard skills is what gets people the job, you know, that IIT degree or any kind of, but what keeps people in the job, what allows you to thrive and allow people to grow in a job, it's the soft skills. So now let's go to the video and let me tell you and you learn a little more about Gleek now that I've given you context. Am I allowed to share my screen? Go back. If you go back, please, that's the video. And I think I should be allowed to share my screen here to play it. Amal?
Yep, Salian. Amit will do that for you.
Okay.
Salian, just given the permission to you, you can now.
You cannot start screen share while another participant is sharing. So somebody.
Amit, you'll have to stop your screen for that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I am sharing my screen. Can you all see my screen? Yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
let me enlarge this and let me play for you.
Here's the problem. So most jobs have an architecture of both hard skills and soft skills. The hard skills are pretty easy for us to figure out. You know, a lot of times we kind of look at degrees, we have assessments, and we can figure out quick whether someone has the hard skills needed or not. Soft skills, very difficult. So think about a data scientist. How much communication and storytelling and creative thinking does a data scientist need? We know they need it. Most of the times we don't know how much of it is needed. Then if I were going for a job as a data scientist, I don't know if I have those skills because I don't have a way to measure that I have those skills. And if I did measure, how do I signal that I have those skills? This is what Gleek has solved. Gleek measures and develops your gaps in soft skills for any current or emerging job in 10 minutes a day. We also then signal your readiness in those skills to the job market. So how do we do this at Gleek? We have a simple four-part process that starts with our British psychology-approved behavioral benchmark. This benchmark gives us kind of a knee-jerk of where you stand on your behaviors and soft skills. I say a knee-jerk because we don't act the same way in all situations. We all have hidden areas and blind spots, but it gives us a fair idea of where you stand. We take that and we then map it to the soft skills that you will be needed for whatever role or industry you're interested in. That then gets translated into a custom learning journey for you. And I say learning journey, but it's a micro practice. And I want you to think about a micro practice, think about a baby learning how to walk. A baby does not watch a video to learn how to walk or read an article. Learning requires practice. So micro practices is where you get to practice those soft skills in that job role or in that industry over a period of time. And just like a baby learning how to walk, before you know it, you are practicing and doing that soft skill without even thinking about it. We then measure that and signal that to the job market. We do it through a quantitative, qualitative, and 360 feedback loop. So employers know you are ready.
Okay, I'm going to stop my share and we can go back to the presentation. Perfect. Next slide. So we can go to the next slide, Amit. Perfect. So for all of you, in terms of your organization, how does Gleek work with organizations? We look at all of the roles within your organizations, and we have a taxonomy. We are the only ones in the world holding a patent on soft skills taxonomy. I proudly share that with everyone as one as 4% of the women holding a patent. We are able to create and map your organization and who are the top performers and bottom performers and who are the behaviors and the drivers in terms of those organizations. Next slide. We then create what is called a custom learning journey map. So this is not taking stuff off of Udemy and LinkedIn and random stuff. All of our content is internally done, and we look at the journey map of what a day in the life of one of your employees look like in that role. So learning requires practice. Getting a degree or certification in leadership and not being able to see what that looks like practicing within your company and role has zero value. So this is how a micro practice looks. Next slide. Our British Psychology approved benchmark, we're 1 out of 250 in the world that's British Psychology approved, and everyone has an individual learning journey. So that means everybody can start at different levels and layers. Next slide. One really interesting thing of our platform, and I share this, is when your employees answer our questions, we have a group of mentors. This is just an example of one of our mentors. We have a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. I can actually say the CEO of PeopleStrong is one of our mentors. You get to see how they answer. So how many times have you done learning and you're like, I wonder how somebody else would have answered and handled this situation? Now we give this to your employees so they get that feedback and that coaching in terms of where they went wrong in our mentor community. Next slide. In terms of when you're looking at, and I always like to address what the competitive landscape looks like. So most of the times, I always say to people, we're not just an upskilling platform, we're actually performance-based. So when you're looking at Gleek or when you're looking at learning platforms, I'm sure you're looking at Udemy, I'm sure you're looking at LinkedIn. In India, I know there is Harappa, all doing brilliant work. However, I think, the unique lane that Gleek has is we really sit with you as a business and say, what do you want to shift on performance and how do we get there? This is not just fitting in a slot of I need content and I need content and collaboration or critical thinking and everybody's on the same journey. It's a very specific thing we're doing, and I call ourselves performance tech versus edutech or upskilling, because we're really looking to shift indicators for your company. Next slide. How we work, clearly PeopleStrong, proudly a partner of PeopleStrong. We're an API plugged into their platform available to you. Can we go to the next slide? And this is how we look on the PeopleStrong platform. So many of you who are already on the PeopleStrong platform, you can access our learning journeys directly through the LMS platform in PeopleStrong. Final slide. Thank you guys very, very much. I look forward to working with all of you. I am posting in the chat, which I would like to give all of you to play around with your companies, one of our 1-minute benchmarks. This is the benchmark right now that's plugged into the Monster India job portal, which it allows. So please go ahead and use it with your companies and organizations. You can very quickly in 1 minute assess sales roles, managing people roles, and customer-oriented roles. I will leave it open for you guys through, maybe on Monday. And what this does is in a very quick scan, you will be able to see where people's gaps are. And this is somewhat of a starting journey in terms of kind of figuring out where people's strengths and gaps are. So please enjoy using that. And thank you guys. I hope you guys have some questions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Salian. That was really, really well timed. Any questions for her? I don't see any on the chat. Is there anybody else who would like to ask a question?
We have a shy group.
All right. So I think we'll move on from here. Thank you, Varun, Salian, and Nishant for your time. And that kind of marks the end of the work-life bit. So we looked at rewards recognition, we looked at sales incentives.
Amol, there's a question from Swapnil and Samir for Salian.
Yeah, Yes, I'm responding. Do we conduct physical trainings as well? Yes. So we have a touch point, and we do those interventions with clients. So different clients have different touch points. So for example, we have some companies around the world that they require us to do touch points, once a week with their GMs as digital training. It's very difficult when you just throw out digital training to a team and you don't have those touch points. And if in terms of senior levels, they're not aligned and it's not being tied. So I'll give you an example. One of our, projects we're working on is, in reference to Cleveland Clinic, the medical sector, and it's touch points of how do you get medical doctors and tie it to what they're discussing and what they're working on that week. So the digital learning is not apart from it. So absolutely, in terms of touch points, how has your success with your clients been so far? Really well. So, I can proudly say our clients are our raving fans because we're shifting. It's very rarely you have a upskilling or a company doing competency mapping that comes in and sits with you and says, what indicators are we shifting, and holding ourselves accountable on shifting those indicators on your bottom line. I think a lot of times in terms of upskilling, we randomly put stuff in and we cross our fingers and we're hoping it's going to work. Or we have a budget for it and, we should be doing this stuff, and really sitting and looking through it and tying it through KPIs and scorecards and how we're doing it in terms of our competency mapping, we are able to track and shift. So yes, happy to share client case studies and any kind of specific information. Okay.
Yep. So Swapnil, to that point, you're saying that you would like to connect for detailed discussion sometime next week. So I will ask your respective account director to get in touch with you and then help set up that meeting between you and Salian and the team. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, guys.
I'm sure Salian would be very happy with that.
Thank you, Swapnil, for not being shy.
Yeah. So I think with that, we've come to a close of the work-life category. So once again, thank you, Nishant, Varun, and Salian for your time. And we've looked at reward recognition, sales incentive, and upskilling, reskilling kind of areas. And I'm sure all of those would be of relevance and interest to you. With that, we move to the next category, which is fintech. And of course, money is another major factor on everybody's mind during these times. And we have some very interesting offerings from our partners. The first up is Value AI. And we have Rashu, who is co-founder of Value AI with us, and she will take us through what they have to offer. So over to you, Rashu.
Thank you, Amol. A very good morning to all of you. Really glad to be part of this Partners Day at PeopleStrong. And thanks to all the attendees for being there to hear us out. This is Rashu Kame, co-founder of Value.ai. Value.ai is a fintech company that envisions to reduce employee financial stress. We exist to deliver happiness every day to employees by ensuring their financial well-being. We've already tied up with large payroll processing partners, HRMS companies. One of our very proud partners in association with us is PeopleStrong. We have a couple of direct clients. We have access to 1 million user already, and we have big dispersal plans for the time ahead. So statistically, presenting a landscape of how it started with us. 80% of the Indian working population lives paycheck to paycheck. That typically means out of the 50 crore working population in the country, 8 crore people really run out of money on the 15th or the latter part of the month. And this causes a lot of financial stress and uncertainties to all people. Next slide, please. So employees are increasingly facing financial stress. This was something which was a prevalent situation in the economy of our country. But in times of COVID and uncertainties, this has aggravated and come to surface for all of us to grapple in a much harsher and harder way. Next slide, please. So it's not just impacting individuals and their families, but what it really is doing is creating tardiness and absenteeism in corporates. So organizations get impacted from this, and 34% of the companies face employee tardiness, 80% face absenteeism because people are in stress, and that impacts their overall productivity and the profitability of the organization. Hence, we thought that something could be done about it, and, and therefore we're building Bharat's biggest advanced salary solution for large workforce. Next slide, please. So what does it do for the corporates? How does it play out for companies like you? Uh, there's a very famous quote by ex-CEO of Xerox. Employees who believe that the management considers them as a whole person and not just employees, uh, there is a significant impact in their productivity, in their satisfaction levels, and hence they are more fulfilled and impacting work. So Value.ai benefits employees by extending advanced salary as a employee benefit scheme for corporates, hence making it a preferred workplace. So these are the few impact areas that we have seen basis parallels in other economies and other geographies across the world. Once advanced salary or a solution where people can go and access easy money is rolled out in an organization, there is 16% impact in the productivity. The workforce is more committed and more fulfilled at the workplace, and hence there is a lot of impact on the profitability. 22% improvement in retention. The hiring cost goes down by 60%. So all of these make it very lucrative for the organizations, and hence there is a lot of benefit in rolling out something like Value.ai. Satisfied employees means satisfied customers and hence an impact to profitability. Therefore, Value.ai makes the employees very happy because there is a go-to option for the employees. So imagine a typical life cycle for a person. In the middle of the month, on the 16th, he runs out of money. He is in total stress. What are the options available to him? He goes and finds help with friends and family. Either he asks a favor from his employer for an advance, or he goes out to a financial institution where the interest rates are high, there is cumbersome paperwork, his CIBIL will get impacted. So all three options do not leave him in a very comfortable and stress-free solution, in a situation. And there we come as really a resort for the employees and for the individuals in the organization. So the benefit to the person is anytime during the month, he can withdraw any amount basis the number of days of his accrued salary in the organization. There is no paperwork. Everything is online and seamless. We do not check his CIBIL, so there is no impact on his CIBIL rating. He can withdraw once in a month or any number of days, which makes it very easy for him. Once people are onboarded on advanced salary with Value.ai, there are a number of other offerings that make his life very comfortable. And our analytical engine keeps throwing him solutions which enrich his daily life stage and contribute to his stress-free, healthy state of mind. Next slide. So all this sounds too good to be true. Let me just share it with you. How does it play out and how does it actually happen as an offering for people? Value.ai is available on a mobile app. We have an ecosystem where we tie up with partners, their clients. Once we have an agreement or a contract with the client, the offering is ready for use for the employees. There is a quick process of onboarding the clients. An employee can go to the app here. They can see the accrued salary every day. Any time in the month, they can actually withdraw that salary. The salary is given to the is credited to their account. At the month end, the employer, instead of giving the balance salary to the employee, they give the settled amount to us. All of this seamlessly digitally done, and the balance salary is given to the employee. So it's a very seamless, quick go-to solution for everybody. And that's the offering that we want to propose to all of you. I like to share that in times of COVID and this crisis, not even our organization, but even government and a lot of people in the economy, impacting the economy, are thinking of ways in which we could enrich employees' life stage. We could enrich how his financial stress can go away. There are schemes in the 7th Pay Commission that are impacting advances, etc., for employees, and hence it really puts in the overall big picture for people to offer this as a benefit. So all of this makes your organization a happier space. Glad to take any questions that you have.
All right. That was very, very quick and very easy to understand. Thank you, Rashu, for that.
Thank you.
Making finance sound so simple.
It is actually, it's a very simple offering that we want to propose to people and enrich their lives.
Any questions from anybody for Rashu on what Value AI has to offer? You can also use the Q&A button. You can post it in chat. You can also raise your hand and we will unmute you and you can ask your question. There's this poll on your screen now. You can also indicate your interest and your account director will get in touch with you for any further details that you need on this. All right. So thank you, Rashu. I think we'll move on to the next one. This one is, I think, again, very, very relevant right now. I think while the timelines have been extended by the government again till the end of the calendar year, but this is something that we all have to do, which is to file our income tax returns, and how we can do that very quickly is what Akshay will tell us. He's from ClearTax, and Akshay, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Amol. That's a great introduction. As you rightly mentioned, since the deadline has been extended, so it's a great time for everyone to file their returns. So hi, everyone. This is Akshay. I lead BFSI and payroll partnerships in ClearTax. So let me just quickly give you an overview about ClearTax. So we are India's largest tax filing platform. And other than that, we have a lot of other products into indirect and direct taxations. We have our investment platform as well. Let me give you a quick backstory of why ClearTax started. So we started in 2011 with just a small idea on how can we simplify the taxation, the ITR filing part for an individual, because I think taxation being the most biggest pain in the employee's mind. Okay, it's during the time of ITR filing, it's like whom shall I approach? They move out to different cities, their CAs get changed. So that's what was the main agenda why we started with ClearTax. So till now we have 5 million plus people who have already filed their returns through ClearTax. They are our trusted filers. Along with that, we are also partnered with around 2,000 plus corporates across India, where we are assisting all of their employees with their tax filing. Just to name few, we are partnered with Flipkart, Amazon, Cisco, all of these proud partners. Coming on to the banking sectors, we are partnered with 20 plus banks across India, just to name HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. We are helping all of their customers to file their returns through ClearTax and a lot of other services as well. Coming on to the payroll side, we are partnered with 10 plus payrolls, and definitely PeopleStrong being one of our proudest partner. And I would like to thank them for giving us this opportunity for to discuss how ClearTax can help all of your employees. So just an overview of our ITR product, where we are partnered with PeopleStrong. So it's a free of cost ITR filing platform. It is a do-it-yourself model. Along with that, we have CA assisted services, and we have a direct support for all of your employees as well. Now you might be thinking, what's value add for a PeopleStrong customer? So on ClearTax platform, you have to upload your Form 16. All your data gets auto passed, and you can finish your filing free of cost in 7 minutes. But we have done some amazing deep integration with PeopleStrong, where you do not have to upload your Form 16 as well. All you need to do is just log into your portal, PeopleStrong portal. You just need to go to the payroll section. There you just need to select the year, and all your data gets auto passed after a quick confirmation from your end. So you do not have to actually do anything, just cross verify your details and finish your e-filing. Other than that, we have a lot of other proposition for PeopleStrong customers. As you can see on my screen, coming on to the second part, which is the CA assisted service. So though maximum people would be filing their returns free of cost using the deeply integrated API filing, but in case people have a bit of a critical tax returns, or they have a bit of a criticality into capital gains maybe, they can avail our assisted model, where a tax expert and a relationship manager would be assigned to them, who will be taking care of his end-to-end tax returns. Now, coming on to the benefit for being a PeopleStrong customer, you get some amazing discounts onto all of our plans, which and say, for example, the basic salary plan is exclusively launched for our partner PeopleStrong. So these are some of the value adds that you get being coming via the payroll platform. Moving on to next, Amit. Other than that, as you can see, we are not only assisting on the tax filing front, we would also love to become your educative partner as well, because as I mentioned in the beginning, that we want to simplify taxation for the employees. So we want to simplify it in a way that they understand taxes very well. So at each step of their tax filing as well, they would be made aware that what is that they are doing. Along with that, we can host a lot of educative webinars for all of your employees. We have some amazing taxation speakers who can come on to on any of the social platforms, or maybe Zoom, any which is feasible for you, considering the current pandemic. Otherwise, we would have loved to come down to your office and do offline sessions. Other than that, we have a lot of tax guides, and anytime we can enable a live chat facility for all of your employees to have a chat with a tax expert and get all of their queries solved. The third part is the anytime 24/7 prioritize support to all the customers, so they can anytime they can write their queries to ClearTax on our support email ID. All they need to do is just mention reference PeopleStrong. We'll take it on a high priority and we'll resolve them ASAP. Quickly, we'll walk you through how the platform works, and how easy it is. As you can see, this is how your PeopleStrong platform looks like. You just need to go to our payroll section. You just need to select the Form 16, and then here is the best part. You just need to select the year, and Amit, if you can move to the next slide. Here is how we'll show you the summary. So here is, as you can see, though we have hidden the numbers, but here the complete summary from your Form 16 will be parsed. And then once you cross-verify all your information, you just need to click on e-file your tax returns. And other than that, in case if your employees have multiple Form 16s, then in that case also there is an option for upload another Form 16. And we'll, during the ITR filing journey also, we would be asking that if you have switched your job between the financial year, then you would be having a multiple Form 16. So all you need to do is just upload your second Form 16, and all your data will be collated at one place, and we'll take off the rest of the ITR filing journey. So that's all from ClearTax side. We are completely open for questions.
All right. Thank you, Akshay. Thanks for that. Any questions that you have for Akshay? You again have that pop up on your screen. Please select yes if you are interested to get this enabled for yourself. This will be done very, very quickly.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm Ravindran.
Hey, hi, Ravindran.
Yeah. See, this clear text pod is an add-on module, or like how we have to incorporate in our PeopleStrong environment.
Yeah, Ravindran. If you are interested, your account director and CSM will work with you, and like there is already a deeply integrated solution here, so it just gets enabled for you, and that's about it. So there is no
We have
additional,
to
but there's no additional
formalize with
cost for
the
our
partner.
customer.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to formalize with the partner. All that you need to do is tell your account director that you want this activated, and it will get activated for all your employees as a banner on the overall PeopleStrong site, so that if anybody wants to start using it, they can start using it. This is a free of charge service with no extra cost to the company.
Does that answer your question, Dr. Ravindran? There is another question from Aradhana on the Q&A, which says, I've used ClearTax in the past, not through PeopleStrong. Is using it through PeopleStrong going to be as simple? So Aradhana, yes, the answer is yes. I think that's what we demonstrated. All you need to do is tell us that this needs to be enabled on the PeopleStrong platform, and we'll get that enabled for all your employees. And then your employees can just simply upload their Form 16 from there, and then that's about it. So it's going to be as simple as that.
Yeah. So just to add to Amol, so basically on to ClearTax, very happy to hear, Aradhana, that you're being a ClearTax customer. So as you would have observed that, you have to upload your Form 16 onto ClearTax platform. But with PeopleStrong, we have done some amazing API integration where you do not have to upload your Form 16 to the data will direct. All you need to do is just select the year, and the data will flow from PeopleStrong to ClearTax. So all that hassle of searching a Form 16 or uploading onto ClearTax platform is resolved, and along with that we have some amazing offerings and discounts on only available via PeopleStrong platform and not on main ClearTax website. So these are the two top-notch value add that you will be getting as a PeopleStrong customer.
Yep.
Saurabh here also, I would like to add that Akshay, we are using ClearTax almost, I think, from last 4 years, and there is a positive response which we have received from employees as well, that it is very much helpful altogether, because for a layman who is not aware of how exactly accounting or how exactly taxation works, for them it is a very good option available. So thanks a lot for that.
Awesome. Very, very glad to hear that, Saurabh. Very glad to hear that. Thanks a lot.
Akshay, I have an additional question. I've been using ClearTax in the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. Last year was the only time that I have filed my taxes through the government portal. Otherwise, I was constantly using ClearTax, not just for me, also for my depositing my father's taxes on the pension and all. Last year, I faced a problem. There was some glitch for somebody like me who has more than one property to their name, and it was not calculating the taxes properly. So at the last moment, then I had to go to the government portal. Government portal is, of course, a very lengthy process, and it took me almost 3-4 hours to do it. Otherwise, with ClearTax, it was always a very simple process. For some reason, last year I had some problem. Now I don't specifically remember the glitch, but there was some problem, and it was related to the fact that I have more than one house to my name.
Okay. Aradhana, though, like this year, you can try again. I'm sure that issue won't come. Let me just quickly check with my internal team what was the glitch last year and how did we resolve it. But I'm sure this year there are no issues there, because we being from the business side, we are in constant touch on our support system and on our platform. So I don't think that this glitch will be there this year too, but would be very happy if we can try again and If still there is a glitch, I'll quickly check it from my backend as well, on by uploading to using 2 house property and 3 house property.
Can you also let me know where to contact in case the same glitch occurs this year also?
Yeah, sure. So basically, on a general note, anybody and can anytime reach out to support@cleartax. But I'm also dropping my contact details on the chat. You can anytime reach out to me.
Sure. Because last year I did leave a feedback, but I'm not sure, whether anybody read it, did not read it.
Okay, I'll quickly get that checked.
Yeah, Akshay, I will. Yeah,
thanks a
I
lot
will
for,
ensure. Sorry, Akshay. Just in the interest of time, I will pass on Aradhana's details to you, and I will request you guys to take this offline, please.
Sure.
So yes, thank you, Aradhana, for that. And there was another question. I'm assuming that was for ClearTax. That in this current situation, would there be a possibility of organizing webinars on this particular topic? And I think the short answer for that would be yes. Correct, Akshay?
Yeah, surely we can organize it.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Akshay, and thank you everyone for all those questions. We'll quickly move to the third one in the financial technology domain, which is early salary. And we have Akshay, another Akshay from Early Salary, who is the co-founder and CEO of Early Salary with us. And he's going to talk to us about what's their value proposition. So over to you, Akshay.
Thank you. I think we've over the last 5 years, as we've been trying to solve the problem of credit in the country, we realized that we work very closely with employers to make sure that we can provide credit to last mile consumers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first take you through a couple of slides about us, what we do, how our offering is, and then we'll talk about how the PeopleStrong Association works to onboard employees in a far more easier manner. Amit, could you go to the next slide, please? Just a quick synopsis. Early Salary is the largest consumer lending app in the country today. We are backed by 8 Roads Fidelity and IDG Chirate. We're a Series C funded company. Interestingly, we own the entire credit line process, which means we are the decisioning company. We own the NBFC and the RBI licenses to lend. We own the credit, the card license also on top of it, so that we can manage multiple product lines for our consumers and do high volumes and transactions. Today, we do almost 100,000 loans a month and lending to salaried customers. We also partner 500 direct corporates. Interestingly, today, the PeopleStrong team was kind enough to share a list of companies attending today. We went back and see how many of your employees are already using our services. Interestingly, 16,000 employees from the 30 odd companies who signed up today are already using our services and applied to us over the last 1 year. In fact, in the month of October, we disbursed 8 crore rupees to these employees so that in case they have a medical emergency or they need a salary advance, we're able to cater to that requirement. Of course, we do feature as the best employee benefit product for last year. And I think in the innovation space, we have won many awards. And last year, we were considered as the best lending tech company also. Let's go ahead to the next slide. Fundamentally, if you look at Early Salary, is a very simple product. Anyone can download Early Salary. We have a brand promise which says the minute you download the product, money delivered to your bank should not take more than 10 minutes. Yesterday is a good example. We did 3,900 loans. 3,722 people were able to get money delivered in under 2 minutes. We are, I think, 170 odd customers. We did take a little extra time because some of the data port was not happening. Their KYC compliance had an issue. We noticed that out of that, 95% customers still managed to borrow within 1 hour. So if you compare ourselves to a bank, there is absolutely no question of comparison. We are really about simplifying the product to make credit come alive in a much more simplistic manner. We are known for lending from small amounts as low as 8,000. In fact, in October, with our new funding structure and additional approvals from the regulator, we are now able to do up to 500,000 rupees instant transfer to people, which allows a large base to come in. We do partner many companies in building zero cost EMIs to employees. Today, we partner Flipkart, Amazon, all the OEMs. We partner close to 300 skill upgradation companies online, so we can bring in a zero cost EMI for skill upgradation, for medical emergencies, and many more needs consumers coming year. Let's go ahead. We do have quite a pan-India national approach. Today, we work with close to 30 odd cities for the companies that we work with. In case for a company who's tied up with us, in case they have a specific requirement, let's say they have a manufacturing facility in a not in our operative cities, we can still work for that company. And there is that's the relationship with PeopleStrong that we build in. The minute you tie up with us and PeopleStrong, we become national and we can cater to any employee, any need, any product line. Let's go to the next slide. I think this is a very interesting mix. While we work with close to 500 companies, we already work with close to 9 insurance companies. I think almost 4 lakh employees of insurance companies work with us. Aviva, SBI Life, Bajaj, Religare, a large number of companies there. In IT, we are fairly strong. We have a broad mix. While we have the large IT sourcing companies like Wipro, KPIT, NTT, etc. there, but we're also now working with many US listed companies because they have different compliance reasons working for their employees. In fact, an interesting use case is now with PayPal, Siemens, etc., where we're able to cater to a very holistic customer base. And I think we lend across spectrum. Our largest partner comes as Quest. So we do blue collar, gray collar, where we do a 15-day loan against payroll. On the other hand, when we go to a large employer who may have a, let's say, an average salary of 70,000 rupees, we're able to cater to a much larger ticket product and also able to build skill upgradation loans or child school fees on finance and bring in many more products to employees of consumers. If you look at, as I mentioned, early salary is a very simple product. It's available anytime. It's backed by an ML stack, which means you don't need a human intervention. Because we own the entire pipeline from the origination to dispersal, we can actually manage the cycle much better. I want to take in 2 trade numbers again. I looked at from the same 30 companies who are today with us and the 19,000 people who applied. We looked at what's the unsecured loan outstandings of them in the month of October. While we only gave 8 crores, they've actually borrowed 270 crores from the market. And interestingly, half of that was credit card outstanding, where employees are paying upwards of 60% interest. If I think that's the good part about working with a financial wellness provider. Our job is to make sure your employees don't fall in financial traps, don't start borrowing very expensive instruments. Can we convert the 60% per annum product into a 14 to 22% product and help him get out of his credit trap? We work with a broad spectrum consumer base. You could be a first-time jobber. A good example out here could be KPIT. The day your employee joins, we actually give him 50% of his salary as an advance to pay for his house deposit. It actually showcases the capability. Imagine you have new employee joining in. He comes and wonders, how does he pay for his house deposit? His full and final has not happened from his previous company. He needs a cash flow requirement for that. And we're really able to service that need out in a very clean manner. Let's go ahead. I think there are fundamental difference between if the employee ties up, if the employer ties up, what does it mean for the employer? First component, it's a no liability clause agreement. We are a lender ourselves. We carry the risk on the end employee. We only use your association to build our brand, to have direct connection with the employee. The second, as the minute the company ties up, the employee gets a few benefits. First, he gets access to all our product lines. Apart from lending, we give a holistic offering to a consumer in financial wellness. We provide a free monthly bureau score on the app. The app is an intuitive system which informs you of your credit card outstanding, if you're missing your bills, if there's too high amounts on it, can we actually help you get out of debt traps? We organize every month a financial wellness seminar for your employees. Last month, we did 72 such seminars for our partner 500 companies. And we noticed on an average, close to 22% of the employees have attended at least one of our seminars. Close to 16% of the employees today use our free bureau score product to help them know their credit histories much better. And close to 8% of employees of tie-up companies use our service each month as a preferred product rather than a banking product. I think we are really about working very closely with the employer so we can cater to holistic needs of the employee, and it can be any requirement. I think today many employers introduce insurance, but they don't cover parents coverage, etc. Today we work with many insurers to help the top-up policy come on an EMI mode. If you look at health insurance, an annual mode product, it gets very difficult for you to buy a parent cover for your parent. Because let's say we work with Max Pupa, it actually comes at a no-cost EMI and becomes a convenience services for the employee base. Let's go ahead here. I did mention about our core product offerings. We divide them into 4 segments. First is the salary advance and loans. Here we need to compete with both banks and NBFCs, and also many segments of consumers who cannot borrow. For example, he's a gray collar employee who's earning 12,000 rupees. He cannot apply to a bank. Because of a payroll deduction system that we run, we're able to give him a soft loan at any given time. We also build his credit bureau, so eventually he can actually apply for a larger housing loan over time. Today, we have noticed close to 79% of our customers who are more than 24 months old have been able to secure a housing loan at under 12%, which is a great indication that we are building bureau history of people. Today, we power almost every skill upgradation company. And in case you work with any edtech company or a skill upgradation partner, if you inform us, we will be able to facilitate a direct transaction. And we will try our best to make it a zero cost EMI also because of the subvention system that we run. As I mentioned, we are live on multiple payment systems. We also today able to facilitate zero cost EMIs on Flipkart, Amazon, Make My Trip, and they're close to 9,000 merchant establishments where you can use us and not pay any interest on your transaction. So typically when you use a credit card, you end up paying maybe 1 month free interest-free transaction. In our app, usually you get 3 to 6 months interest-free transactions. It's a much superior offering than a credit card. Let's go ahead. Yeah, Amit, could you go ahead, please? Next slide.
Yeah, I think his laptop is hung a bit. Just give him a second.
No problem. So maybe I'll continue on the what I want to talk more about. I think earlier this month, RuPay and NPCI just allowed us to launch our version of a digital card. It's an interesting offering. It's the first time in the country a card without a sponsor bank has come in, which means you have access to video KYC, you have access to an instant card populating on your product. The same example that I gave you of yesterday, 3,700 customers, 60% of them were able to complete their video KYC in the 2-minute session, which meant all of these people were able to get access to a RuPay card on their app. It's an interesting card from an employer perspective. You could brand it, you could load extra benefits on it. And apart from that, we are able to build a zero cost EMI for many transactions. Specifically, if you use this card on Flipkart, it comes at no cost EMI. It's able to bring a dynamic credit system so that you can walk into a hospital and make a payment with this card. Interestingly, at a hospital, it gives you a 12-month EMI and gives you a much larger limit. So it's your emergency cash. Most interestingly, Early Salary does not charge any prepayment penalties. So in case you have a medical emergency, you need money for 1 day, you can literally use our services just for a day. And it gives a great amount of ease of operations. For example, if you take 10,000 rupees from us and you have to return it back tomorrow morning, we will charge you just 6 rupees. Similarly, if you end up borrowing for 10 days, it's just 60 rupees. So it's actually a much lower cost transaction coming to you. And that's getting facilitated by an entire transaction layer, which is powered by Early Salary today. Let's go ahead. I did mention about our partnership across 300 edtech companies, and many more are coming through. What we have been able to do, we have been able to introduce not only edtech, but also school fee payments. Both of these products are very interesting from an employee perspective. Many of us love to take an skill upgradation product or need to pay a child's school fees. It could cost you, let's say, 1.5 lakh rupees to make the payment. But what if you can pay it at a monthly mode and a 12-month mode? That's what we are able to facilitate that. And interesting, most of our partners are no cost EMI. I did mention about Flipkart, Amazon, and many more. Let's go ahead. And of course, we do power a free bureau report on the app. It's powered by Equifax, what's one of the 4 bureaus. Typically, if you go and buy this service on your own as an individual, you have to spend 750 rupees and you don't get access to the full report. We provide it monthly free of charge. Being an NBFC, we have access to it and we pass it on to our consumers free of charge here. Let's go ahead. So if you look at, we are a holistic HR financial health provider. We work with a large number of corporates. We already have many of our employees coming directly to us. If you're able to work with you closer, we'll be able to initiate multiple products to them and really improve the lives of people. Today, on an average, we have noticed for typical large companies, we have been able to help 8 to 10% of the employees on an average help them save 3,000 rupees a month for what they were paying somewhere else. And fundamentally, if you look at 3,000 a month into 12 months, it's actually a 36,000 rupee annual saving happening for employees. It's a great help to them. Let's go ahead. Let's quickly talk about a couple of slides about, we'll skip this slide. We'll just show about how the association with PeopleStrong works. Yeah, let's go to the, I think fundamentally, the minute you give PeopleStrong a green signal that you're okay for us to directly integrate, it comes like a single tag button on the Alt platform. When you click on the Alt platform, there's an authorization which allows the employee to share his data to us directly. At this stage, we're able to run risk underwriting and analysis. And the minute he does an OTP validation of his mobile phone, we're actually able to now give him approval of his limit. You can see in this case, the employee got approved for straight 200,000 rupees, and he's now good to borrow. He needs to complete his basic form details, which is name, phone number, his KYC compliance. He could do a video KYC. He could submit an Aadhaar. He could submit a photograph of a passport or a PAN card or any other instrument. The minute you complete these services, you're good to borrow. There is no manual intervention here, and now you can simply transfer money to your bank whenever you like. At the same stage, you can see multiple limits open up for the consumer, and the entire process takes less than 2 minutes to complete the entire transaction. I think that summarizes our entire offering. What I'm going to do is, as I have another 2 minutes, I'm going to quickly pause here to show a small video. Amit, could you stop sharing, and maybe I'll share my screen. You'll have to permit me for screen sharing.
Mayank, you may have to permit him.
Yeah, while we do that, if any one of you have any questions, once again, please post them in the Q&A section or in the chat window. There is this pop-up that has again come up, and you can express your interest in taking the conversation with early salary ahead. Do you have the access now, Akshay?
Nope, it's not coming in. Let's try again. No, it's disabled.
Mayank?
Now it started, yeah.
Goes to enhance his skills, Mohit seldom leads life to the fullest without worrying about the future. Be it urgent medical bills or the new course to enhance his skills, Mohit seldom leaves anything for the future. But that wasn't always the case. Mohit struggled with insufficient funds syndrome, just like his colleagues, and postponed his dreams and needs endlessly. Until his new e-friend stepped in. Meet Early Salary, a one-stop platform enabling salaried individuals to live better without fearing low account balance. An intervention-free platform, Early Salary Credit Suite, provides for a smooth and explanation-free flexible loan service and a lot more via free credit score, instant salary advance, personal loans, salary card, buy on EMI. Access safe and convenient instant cash credit at the tap of your finger to turn your plans into a reality. What more? Bite-sized EMIs, seamless digital loan credit, additional offers for repeat customers, minimal interest rates with zero prepayment charges. Want even more? Use Salary Card for converting any transactions into instant EMIs and also enjoy zero-cost EMIs with selected partners. So, be a Mohit and do not let anything limit you from living more. Grab your instant cash credit with early salary now.
Thank you. I think that does summarize.
Thank you, Akshay.
Right, thanks. In case any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Sure. I don't see any questions in the chat window. Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask? You'd like to raise your hand so that we can.
I've just actually posted number of employees from your company who applied to us and currently using our services.
I think we'll take that as a no, and we'll
Ramon,
move
your
ahead.
voice is cracking a bit. Maybe you just want to sort of switch off and switch on again your voice bit. It's not coming very clear.
Hello, is this better?
Yeah, it's still a bit broken. For some strange reason, maybe there's something wrong with the overall voice system that you're using.
Let's change in my end, I don't know.
Maybe you just have to log out and log in again.
Okay.
In the meanwhile, Amit, would you be able to
Yeah.
the next speaker?
Yeah. So, hi everyone, this is Amit, and till now we have covered the work life and fintech partners. Now we move towards the last bit, which is we will welcome Lok Netra from Isha Foundation, who will be explaining on the inner well-being and mental health of our employees. He'll talk about something about that. Yeah, give me a second. Over to you, Lok Netra.
Namaskaram and welcome all of you for this short presentation from Isha Foundation, and really want to thank PeopleStrong for this opportunity. This is Isha Foundation, and Sadhguru has come up with a specific offering for corporates and in these challenging times. Responding to this unprecedented crisis that's gripping business and its employees, Sadhguru is offering a certain set of learning modules, empowerment modules on the PeopleStrong platform, and it's titled as Work Beyond Stress. Just a brief introduction. My name is Lok Netra, and I've been with Sadhguru for the past 22 years. And I also conduct the various programs and the advanced meditation programs that Isha Foundation offers. And I don't think to this group, I really need to introduce Sadhguru or Isha Foundation. I'm sure there is nobody here who has not heard Sadhguru. So just to set a context, all of us know this, that we are facing unprecedented times. And today, apart from the COVID pandemic, the world over, people are talking about a much larger pandemic, which is a global mental health pandemic. And just want to quote some figures. This was a recent study that Pricewaterhouse, astonishing to see that in the last year, they estimate over 900 million people, which is about 11% of the world's population, are going through some kind of mental stress or some kind of mental ailment. And they further estimate that the loss of productivity and the loss of productive work time for corporates across the world in the last year has been about 12 billion man days due to just depression and anxiety. And it's costing about $1 trillion to the global economy. So I don't think we need to really emphasize the need for the technologies for themselves to take care of their inner well-being. Simple aspects of life, which should be obvious, should be available to every human being, no matter what kind of external situations they're facing, as to how to be joyful, how to be at the peak of your health, your well-being, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and above all, in a much deeper dimension within yourself. And this is what Sadhguru has been offering for the past 3 decades Millions of people have gone through Isha Foundation programs, and it's been a defining transformation moment in all of their lives. So today, Isha Foundation runs over 300 centers across the world with over 11 million active volunteers. So can we go back, Amit, to the previous slide? So the first offering that we have on the LMS platform is called Work Beyond Stress. These are learning modules categorized under very relevant and very pertinent subjects, as you can see, going beyond stress, mental and emotional wellness, positive parenting, and various other, how to build your relationships, how to live healthy. Each of these learning modules have lessons which are in the form of short lessons, about 5 to 6 minutes. And these are not some teachings, these are not advices. These are ways by which one can really turn inwards, look at the fundamentals, look at the source of the problem so that it leads to a complete transformation of an individual. And this is not about trying to take care of your anxiety, taking a pill. This is about tapping into the most powerful source, that is the source within yourself, that no matter what kind of external situations, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's business challenges, whether it's work, whether it's family situations, you can be at your peak. You can use your mental faculties, your emotional strength, and your energies to its maximum to handle it at the best of your capabilities. And we have seen this happen for millions of people who are a part of Isha Foundation today. These modules are created as short learning modules. They are in the form of videos, and Sadhguru's wisdom is available through these. We also offer very simple, scientific, and very easy to practice, but yet very powerful yogic to bring a certain balance in your system, ways to activate your energy system, and also muscular and skeletal alignments, where we've seen a lot of people relieve themselves from their stress, their anxiety, their physical disorders, and they're able to contribute and participate in their life process, which is, of course, work when it comes to office, in a much better way. See, one thing that how joyful, how exuberant, and how energetic you are, and that's how effective you are in whatever you want to do. So this whole thing is about creating an ecosystem where human beings in their workspace can go through all the challenges, do their best, and still be joyful, still be at the peak of what they can do in their lives. And one important module that is a part of this is the Corona module, where we're offering methods for people to take care of their immunity and come out of the ailment, even if they have unfortunately contracted it. Next slide. The next very important offering on the PeopleStrong platform is the Inner Engineering online flagship program that Sadhguru's offered over the last 3 decades. And these are 7 sessions, experiential sessions, ways for you to turn inwards, to become aware of the how and why of the way your body functions, the way your mind functions. This Inner Engineering online program that's being offered here is specifically curated for corporate leaders, and it helps you to bring a certain awareness where your thoughts, your emotions, and your body functions exactly the way you want it. And you are a complete master onto yourself. And this is a very, very powerful process. Millions of people, again, have gone through this, especially leadership across corporates, governments, and businesses. Political leaders have gone through it, and it's been a defining moment in their life. Engineering online program will be available to corporate leaders through the PeopleStrong platform. And we also offer support sessions which are personalized in the form of webinars, practice supports, follow-up sessions, so that people who go through the program, they're able to make the best use of it. So what does it offer to individuals and to the corporates? Next slide, Amit. One thing is, like I said, this is about transforming individual human beings from stress, anxiety, in the last few presentations, financial stress, emotional imbalance, to a state where one is exuberant, one is joyful, and one is at its peak of his experience in life. And I think as HR professionals, you know this, the most important, the most valuable asset is your people and how well they are within themselves. Today, well-being is not just about a people business. It has strategic and very direct impact on your bottom lines, on the performance of your business. We have seen through these practices, people have come out of the ailments, their absenteeism, their level of participation, their level of enthusiasm and productivity has tremendously increased. And all of this has a direct impact on the organization. So these modules will be available soon on the PeopleStrong LMS platform. You will have to subscribe to it. The Work Beyond Stress is a subscription model. Next slide. Okay, can you go back to the first slide, Amit? So the Work Beyond Stress is a subscription model. And as we create more and more modules, we'll be adding on to that. So you get to subscribe to everything that's being added new. And the In Engineering online program is for groups of leaders, the top leadership in the corporates, and we can help you subscribe to it, and we can also help you to guide you through it. Take any questions from anybody?
Okay, once again, requesting everyone to post your questions. You again have this one question. If you are interested in exploring the Isha Foundation offerings through the LMS platform, please click on yes, and we'll get in touch with you. Thanks once again, Loknetra. I hope you guys can hear me all right now.
Yes, Amol.
Yeah. Okay, I have stopped my video just to ensure that my audio quality is better.
Any other questions?
I don't think so. There are any questions, Loknetra. Given this is coming from Isha Foundation, I'm sure people would be very, very happy to, look at these. So thank you once again, Loknetra, for your time. And with that, we move ahead to the last partner of the day, but certainly not the least, and very interesting offering. We have Saurabh, who is the country head for day-to-day health with us. And over to you, Saurabh, to walk us through what you have to offer.
Sure. Thank you, Amol. Hi, this is Saurabh Singhal from Day to Day, and would like to begin by thanking, PeopleStrong team, specifically Amit and Mrigang, for giving us this platform and opportunity to showcase our offerings. Next slide. So a quick introduction about ourselves. Day to Day Health is a MIT startup launched in 2018. So it's almost like 2 years for us, operating out of Boston, UK, and India. And we focus on secondary care services, specifically acute, post-surgical, and out-of-hospital care. We are first of its kind company to provide end-to-end acute care services globally. And we have successfully delivered and provided services to over 6,000 plus patients pan-India this year. And we are GDPR and HIPAA compliant. In short, the patient information is secured and it doesn't go out anywhere. Next slide. So what do I have here for offering to all of you? Since all of us are dealing with COVID, I will focus on that. And we have successfully supported many hospitals, government, and enterprises to fight COVID, and have 3 curated plans that can help you, your families, and your family members, and your companies to fight COVID in different perspectives. The first program is more of a screener type of a program, which is pre-COVID. The second program is what you can utilize once you have been infected by COVID. And the third one is a mental well-being, which can be utilized anytime, anywhere by any of your employees or any of your family members. Next slide. So the first program is a daily risk screener that monitors your symptoms every day to raise alarms, and you can speak to the doctor so that he can initiate a medical checkup for you, he can initiate tests for you, or he can initiate different prescriptions or medications for you in case you feel there is something which is not happening in a proper way. There is a list of questions that you have to answer on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis. And using that set of information, we leverage the digital platform to help and manage your health. Next slide. The second program, which is called a Suraksha Kavach, is one of our most successful COVID programs, which has helped recover many patients across India as well as internationally from the impact of COVID once they are infected. We arrange a complete virtual care in nearly the same way that one would get in a hospital at 1/10 of the cost, provided you do not have any severe symptoms. And in case you develop any severe symptoms, before or while in the program, we help you arrange a hospital nearby so that you can get yourself admitted and be taken care of from there. This is more like a 17-day program for those who participate, and the clinicians contact you on a daily basis to monitor and manage your health. They provide prescriptions, manage escalations, even at night. You can live chat, you can talk to the clinicians as and when you want, and we take a very good care of yourself. And we have received very excellent feedback from our patients in the last 6 months since the inception of this program. Next slide. The third program is on the mental well-being side. This is one of the most talked about problem in the lockdown situation and otherwise also. So we do a holistic program by providing a personalized care to all members who participate in these. We do psychological assessment, provide personalized counseling sessions. We do necessary pieces that are required to help solve the problems for the employees so that their productivity can improve. Based on our work in last 2 years, we have seen that nearly 15 to 20% of the employees in any organization are dealing with some form of distress, and having someone to speak to them, having someone to assess their problems have helped improve their productivity and hence the overall business functioning of any of the organizations. A holistic program like this has really helped a lot of individuals and a lot of employees in the past, and we look forward that the members who are participating in this particular forum really look at these programs in a lot of details. Our products are of gold standard and very well appreciated by many leading bodies in India. They understand that we follow the protocols of all the necessary local lands and local governing bodies, whether it is WHO, ICMR, or any of the hospitals related bodies, and that's what we follow. You can reach out to your PeopleStrong partners to discuss more details, and we are looking forward to engaging with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you once again for your time. And with that, actually, we come to an end of the planned 8 partners. In the wellness category, we've looked at Isha Foundation and Day-to-Day Health. Thanks a lot, Saurabh, for your time. And thank you all the customers who are there. We just have a couple of more announcements before we wrap this up. So right now you have on your screen again this question which tells you to show your interest if you'd like to know more about what Day-to-Day Health has to offer and how it can be enabled for your organization. So please click on yes, and your account director will get in touch with you to detail this out with you. So Amit, if you can just put the last 2 slides. We are also associated with, we have partnered with a couple of NGOs. Empower Foundation is one of them. They're doing some great work in across 5 states, and you can again have this enabled for your organization where your employees can directly donate for their cause and get their tax deduction certificates from them directly. Similarly, the second partner from an NGO perspective that we have is a CAF India, which is more of a aggregator platform of various NGOs and ensures that your money reaches the right NGO and contributes to the right cause. So these are the two NGO partners that we have, and we would also request you to take a look at that, because while we are maybe one of the few fortunate ones during this period. Not many in our country especially are as fortunate as most of us are. So we could also do our bit to help those people and help certain causes that you personally feel aligned to. This could also be part of your CSR initiatives. So that's all from our end. We have a small feedback form that we will